Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We've got the GX160. We're going to get a new battery for this thing and set that up. We're going to get this carb jetted out so we can get it to run a little smoother. If you watched the last video, you heard the way it was surging through acceleration, so we're going to fix that. We're also going to put an add-on for the valve cover. We've got a filter and we're going to get that mounted. We will definitely set up the new battery for the bench, and I'll show you guys how I do that. We're going to get a multimeter onto the rectifier regulator and make sure that it is running properly. I might have a little bit of a doubt on that pink wire, and I'll explain to you as we go through it, just to make sure that it's running and wired correctly. Guys, I really hope you enjoy watching my videos. I really need you guys to subscribe and like. It helps the channel grow as we're trying to get monetized. Guys, thanks for the support. So let's get this video going. I'll stop mumbling on. Thanks, guys. So guys, I went ahead and got a new battery since the other battery I had on the bench was no good anymore. It's not really holding a charge or have enough cranking amps in it. So let's get this one set up. I don't know if you guys have ever seen how these things actually come. So we'll open it up. Actually, there's instructions right there. Okay, so the fluids are poured in. Then you got to trickle charge them. Well, let me open this up. Give me a second. I'll try to do this one hand. It's not working, so we got to cut this piece of plastic first. So give me 1 second. Let's cut it open. Proves to be pretty difficult when you're trying to do this with one hand, but anyway, should be able to do it. So guys, I've got it pulled out. I got these red caps pulled out. There's a feeder tube, and that goes onto the liquid that's supposed to enter the battery. So we're going to cut the tip off, put this on there, and then fill those up. So let's do that. Okay guys, so you see that there's a red line at the top. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm filling up the slot, just squeezing the product, and it should be coming up to that line. There we go. Okay, we'll move it over to the next. So you can see the demarcation lines, and the battery's all filled. So what we're going to do is put these plastic caps back on. They just pop on. Like so. Okay. See if I get them all on there. There we go. There we go. Oh, I'm weird with that kind of stuff. They're all going to have to be the same way. There we go. Now there's a drain on this side, and a drain tube comes with it, just in case. That's in there, and that'll fit onto that. Okay? And then the nut and bolts are for the negative and positive. What we're going to do is we're going to let the battery actually sit for 60 minutes. So let it sit for an hour. So it kind of levels its fluids off on its own, and then we'll charge it. So that's the directions, exactly what we did. We filled them up. We took the vent hose out, or the vent cap out. And here it says fill slowly to upper level. We did that. And then it says slowly fill, let battery stand for up to 60 minutes before charging. So we'll let that do that, and we'll get right back to it, guys, and then we'll put the charger on. So guys, we've got it plugged into the charger. and we're flashing at 75%. So we'll let that charge it up, and that will be our new bench battery. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a few tests on the rectifier regulator. I was looking online on a bit of info on it. Now, I'm going to put a test, or I'm going to put an amp meter or voltage meter on it and see if I'm getting at least 13.5 coming out of the tail end of that battery line. So let's let this battery charge up. We'll make sure that it's fully charged, this way we can use the electric start. We won't hook up the battery right away. We're going to pull start it, and then we're going to get our voltage meter on the battery lead and see what's coming out of it. Make sure that it's working properly. We also got ahead and we have some micro bits. These micro bits are actually designed for doing jetting. So we can use these to widen up the jet. What I'll do is I have another carb, and I will take the other carb apart and show you guys the actual jet and the size of bit that we're going to use and how to adjust it and make it slightly bigger. So we'll do that. Let this battery finish charging, and we're almost there, and then we'll continue. So guys, we're going to start off with the new carb. I'm going to take the bowl out. I'm going to show you exactly where the jet is that we'll be working with. So this is the same carb that's on there. So the jet is right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. Now there's two of them. There's the jet and then there's a tube. Now a lot of guys will change both of those out right off the hop. I won't do that. Reason being is that if you alter too many things at once, you can't really dial in the carb properly. So let's get a screwdriver. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver that fits in there. This one should do it. Yeah. We'll just loosen that up. Try not to drop the bowl. There we go. Put that carb out of the way. And if you can see that, that's a really tiny pinhole there, okay? So we're gonna find out what size that actually is. And how we're gonna do that is we're gonna take our kit here, and we're just going to open, we have to break this off, I think, on this one. Okay, so we're just gonna slide our bit out, like so. And these bits are tiny. And we're just gonna see if that actually fits. Okay, so that actually fits in there. It's got too much play, so we need something a little bit smaller or bigger. So we're gonna move up to the next slot over. And we'll slide that out. Too much play. Okay, we'll put that one back in, and we'll move over to the next slot. So what I'm doing is basically trying to find a bit that's going to fit perfectly in that slot without too much play. Okay, so we still got a lot of play in that. So let's slide that over. Let's go up one. Oh, we're getting closer. Let's do it again. So what you want to do is try to find, let's go up to that and try that. What you're trying to do is find a bit that's going to fit in there nice and tight. And still got to move one up. Put that back in. Let's go one more. Okay, so that one doesn't go in. Okay, so let's move one back. To 70, and it probably is a 70. And it is. Okay, so that's that. So the one above that, so we're gonna go one above it. And that one is just a slightly larger, so it doesn't enter the actual, well, it doesn't enter the actual bit. Or the bit doesn't actually enter the actual jet. So that's the one we're going to work with. Okay, so this on this chart is showing a 68. Okay, so let's install this on this little handheld drill bit handle. You just push that in like so and tighten it up. Then you just take your jet, lightly put it in and just slightly spin. And it'll jet it out, it'll clear it out. And it should be coming out the other side. So what I'm doing, guys, basically is enlarging the jet slightly. And just slightly spin. And then just slide it through. Okay, so what we want to try to do is give it a nice clean, make sure there's no burrs. And that one's done. Okay, so what we're going to do now is remove the bowl. Let me put this here, this other carb aside for now. And what we're going to do is remove the bowl on the carb that we actually have installed there. And we're going to take that jet out, okay? And we're going to crank her, see if she's running better. So what I did is I cut a little plastic bowl, and we're going to put it underneath just in case for the fuel. I'm going to move the camera over to the other side so you guys can actually see what's going on, and then we'll take it from there. So give me a second, I'll move that camera. Okay, so I've got the camera moved over. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut the gas line off. I'm going to keep that bowl underneath because it is going to leak fuel. And we'll loosen this one up. And I'll take that one that's in there out and there we go. We'll just dump that in there, like so. We'll get a napkin, paper towel. All right, so let's put this aside for a second. You should be able to get, and of course, the screw is too long. So give me a second, I'll find a shorter screw to get it in there, and we'll see if we can get it out. So guys, what I did is I got a flathead bit. Instead of having to dismount the motor from its stand, we'll just loosen her up. It should work out good. We just need the right socket. Plier or small vise. Okay, so that should be able to come out by hand now. Yeah. There we go. All right, we almost got her out. There it is. We got her out. Okay, so let's get the other one in. And then guys, it's gonna be a process of elimination. So what we're gonna do is we'll put the carb back together and we'll fill up the bowl of fuel and start her up and see if it runs smoother. You know, we gotta remember what bit we used, and we'll go back. And if we have to go up one, we will. And you know, with these things too, I know you can go online and you'll hear guys, they'll solder at the end up. You can do that if you want. Just nice and snug, not over tight. Make sure that the bowl is okay. The cotter pin for the bowl is good. And let's put that bowl back on. We'll turn the fuel. There we go. And we'll just tighten that up. Okay, she's snug. So my suggestion is before you start anything is make sure you get these bits out of the way. You don't lose the right bit, because if it drops on the ground, you'll break it. So I'm going to move them out of the way because I don't want to break them. Remove the jet. Okay. Just make sure we put that there. All right, so let's stir her up. Let's see if we got it to run a little better. I'm going to move the camera over. I'm going to move the motor over. So give me a second, guys. We'll move it over. Okay. Let's turn the fuel on. Turn the choke on with a little gas. Okay guys, so acceleration seems to be a little better. I'm gonna go one up. So we're gonna do that same procedure again. We're gonna try to see if we can get it to run just a tad better than that. I mean, like I said guys, it's a process of elimination. We're gonna shut the gas off again, and we'll take this out. Let's take her out. Make sure we got all the fuel. You don't want to make a mess with fuel. Gotta make sure the gas line's off, okay guys? So it'll make a disaster. Okay. I'll just leave that there for a second. I'll move this container out of the way. Let's take that jet out again. All right, almost got her out. Okay, so I got her out again. There you go. So we're gonna open her up a little bit more and see how she goes. Let me get that drill set. So there she is. I don't know if you guys can see that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this one back in and we're gonna go up one. Take a look, see if we got, if it's tight, and then it is. Okay, so that's one up. So let's set this up again. Hopefully you guys can see me setting that up there in the camera. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back into it again, like so, and just slightly turn. I know this is a little bit of a pain, but it's a lot easier doing this than buying five different types of jets, and they all are useless. So, and you can kind of tune it in to where you want it to be. So I'm just going in, lightly twisting until I get through. There she goes. Beautiful. You just got to make sure you get the burr out. Let's blow through that a bit. Now, there's a little piece stuck there. We want to get some maybe brake clean and blow that out. Get some brake clean. Slide that in there. You really got to make sure you get that out of there, guys. There's that little burr. If she stays in there, it's going to really mess up that jet. Okay, we're good. All right, so let's get this jet back in there. Tighten it up by hand. We'll go give her just a little tap. There we go. Okay. Let's make sure the float is where it's supposed to be. Okay, we're good. So let's keep this together and put it away for now so it doesn't drop off. Okay. We'll put that bowl back on. All right. Put that bowl back on. Tighten her up. Snug. I'll lose my bit. All right. Let's turn the gas back on. Put her in start position. Let's see how she runs. So guys, she sounds a lot better. I played her a little bit with the idle screw. She's popping a little bit, but I think I'm going to leave it at that and run it that way for a while and see how she goes. But it sounds a lot better. I'm getting a lot more throttle response, which what I was really looking for. So that's awesome. I'm going to tighten this up. I'm going to leave it as is for now. And we're good. Okay, so we're gonna get the multimeter out and we're gonna see how this rectifier regulator and if it's working properly. So give me a second, I'm gonna go get the multimeter out and we're gonna figure it out. And I'll show you guys what I'm up to. Okay, so guys, I've got the meter out. So what we're gonna actually do is we're gonna start this thing up and I'm gonna see what I get out of that rectifier regulator, okay? So I don't have the battery connected. So let's start her up and see if we get a reading, okay? I'll videotape it so you guys can see. So guys, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna disconnect this pink wire because we didn't get a reading. So we're just gonna pull this out of the harness for now. Okay, I'm gonna plug this back in and let's see if we're getting a reading. Oh, okay, hopefully you guys can see that because we weren't getting a reading. So let's put her back on run. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do is we gotta send power to this unit. Okay, so if I'm not getting a reading, so that means it's not getting any power. We're gonna leave this pink disconnected for a second. Let's get a battery hooked up to it and let's see what happens. Okay, one sec. Let's see what we're getting out of this battery at this moment. Okay, what's going on? Oh, shit. Okay, 12.75 or 12.96. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's see it. Maybe that thing wasn't plugged in right. Let me start it up again and try and see what happens before we continue. Turn it on. Okay, so I am getting a reading out of it. I'm going to hook that pink back up again. And let's see what we get when that pink is hooked up, meter-wise. See if there's any change. Because why I'm concerned is I have a feeling that it actually does not close the circuit as they say it does in different forms that I've seen. So let's push this pink back into play. There it is. Clamp it back in. She's in. Okay. And let's see if we get a stronger reading and see what happens. Okay, let's run her up again. guys, so it seems to be correct. It does short. It doesn't do much. The pink wire is definitely a floating ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the pink wire disconnected, and we're going to hook it up to the battery and see what it does. Okay guys, so I've got the battery hooked up. I've got the pink wire disconnected. Let's see what we're showing on the meter. So on the meter we're at 12.8. Okay. So let's see. Let's start her up and then take a look. This is on. So it's not showing much of a difference. So let's plug that pink wire back in and see if it shows us any different meter readings. And it might. We'll pop that back. What am I doing here? Let's go that way. That out. There we go. Okay, that's back in, and we're in. Okay, so let's try starting her by key. Okay, so what we've come up with is that even with the pink wire connected, it's not making much of a difference. So I guess what we'll do is we'll leave the pink wire disconnected for now, and we'll see how she does. But I think we're going to be okay. So anyway, let's take this pink wire out of the equation for now. And then we'll take it from there. And we'll continue on installing our other filter. And then this one here, we'll just tuck it out. If we decide to get another stator, another coil, we'll put this back in. There we go. Okay. That's awesome. All right, so we'll put this meter away for now. Shut it off. And then what we're going to do is we'll get the filter on. Okay guys, so this is my game plan. This was used for the governor, so I am not going to use it, but what I am going to do is I'm going to use it for the valve cover vent. So the game plan is to cut this off, drill a hole through here, like so, and mount her down. Now I can actually leave that there and just hoop it around. That might work also, I don't have to cut it. But I'll have to drill this and mark it and just bend this down a bit so it doesn't move, okay? And then we can keep it just like that. And then once it's tightened, it's not gonna go nowhere, okay? So that should work out perfectly. That'll go in there, like so. And then that'll go just like that. That should work out perfect. Okay. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna mark that, and we'll drill a hole through it, and we'll carve out the excess, and we'll mount it in. Actually, I think I could just leave that and put a twist tie in behind that, and that's gonna work out just perfect. Okay, so let me get a marker and we'll mark it and drill it and see how she goes. So we're gonna just line it up kind of, like so. Mark it there. Well, that's where we're gonna cut off. Then we'll drill a hole. I'll put some tape on that, and then we'll be able to do that. So we'll get the quick cut and we'll cut that off, and then we'll put a piece of tape on it and mark where the hole is, and we should be good. Okay, so let me cut this and then see how she goes. Okay guys, so we've gone ahead and cut this, and that's going to go on just like so. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trace this on here. Okay, and I'm going to get a piece of tape, and we're going to put it on top to find out where that hole is, so we can drill a hole through that. So what I'm going to do is just put my tape on there, and we'll just trace that, and then color out the hole. So we'll just go around the edges here so we kind of know where I'm at. Like so. And then we're going to put that somewhat on there. There we go. So now we'll just drill the hole through. Give me a sec. Okay guys, so I got the hole drilled out. Let's take this tape off and let's see the fitment. We should be pretty good. And we are. Nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lock washer in between these two and then torque that down. And then we should be able to fit this in and mount it. And we should be good. Okay guys, so we've got that mounted there, you see that? So what we're gonna do, so we'll take this hose out. We're gonna put this in here. Let's tighten this back up. And there we go. Put that around there. Push that in, and we'll tighten this up. I'm going to start screwdriver. Try to put that out here. And I do. We'll tighten this up. So a lot of guys complain about these things falling off. This is a great solution, guys. Works out just beautiful. Tighten her up a little bit, and she'll hold that in place. It's not coming off. put it into the valve cover, like so. And then we'll twist tie, or not twist tie, strap tie that to there, and we're in business. So let's grab a strap tie. So let's strap tie that down. So the game plan is to go through the hoop, like so. There we go. Strap tie. We'll put one extra on the other side just to add a little security to that. So strap that in. So we're good. See that? She should be hold out perfectly. All right. So we're good, guys. So guys, there's the setup. She's looking pretty good. Nice and sturdy. She's not going to go anywhere. So what we'll do is we'll spark her up and see how the vibration is, and see how it goes from there. So let's give it a start. Turn the gas on. We'll give it a little bit of So guys, we've got her completed. She's looking really good. Now we'll have to make something to put this on. I hope you guys enjoyed the series. Guys, I really appreciate you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you.